welcome back to Computers for the Completely Clueless.
Good job, Lee. Got the name of the show right this time.
That's twice this year.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about illustrations and drawing with OpenOffice.org.
Okay, we're going to do some neat things.
Yeah, and we've talked a little bit about control handles and all those kind of things. And, well, you know, this being computers and we being geeks, we can't just stop there, though.
Nah.
We got to dig around and play some more.
You got a happy face up there.
I did. I went over to the Shapes button on the Tools panel. And if I click the little flyout, I see there's all sorts of shapes. I can do a heart or a snowflake or...
But why are they all so Smurfy?
Smurfy?
They're blue.
They're blue?
Yeah, can you make them yellow?
No, I'm sorry. Blue's the only color you can use in this. No, of course not. Look up here. On our toolbar, we have a color. We have a fill options. And look, there's different kinds of fills. Right now we're using a color fill, and we're using a solid color. So if I wanted to make my smiley face yellow, which would be the traditional smiley face.
Now, when you did that, the darker yellow areas, they were darker blue, they came up a darker yellow.
They're just basically tinted, and you could break this all apart. But you could also come in here, and you could make this a gradient color. And a gradient basically is a mixture of colors.
Oh, okay.
Set into a palette.
Like linear yellow-brown, maybe?
Right, so you can do, let's see if they've got any radial ones here. Oops, choose one. So how about linear brown and yellow? Okay. Very nice. Looks like Pigpen now. Okay. An ellipsoid. An ellipsoid allows me to choose where my gradient is applied. Uh-oh, look. I just noticed there's a little handle there, one of those little handles. I can change my
happy face into less than happy.
Face. He just got his report on his 401k.
I think, oh, gee, that's bad.
That's just sad.
I thought it was just because of the color he gave.
Right. Or I can make it invisible. Let's go back to a solid yellow, though.
Okay.
And because that's going to let us have a little more fun with the next thing that we're going to do.
Okay, what are we going to do next?
Well, 19 down, 97 up.
Okay, 19 down, 97 up. Let's say we're going to make it a really, really sad face. All right, next we're going to go and look at some really kind of fun tools. And one of these is the ability that you have to take an object like this and convert it to a 3D object. And what I'm going to do is try to remember, first of all, where I found that. Do you remember where we found that?
Convert. Right-click again.
Okay.
Convert.
All right, so I'm going to right-click on my shape, and I want to convert it. And look at all these things that I can change it to. Now, this is pretty slick. I can make it a 3D object, or I can make it a 3D rotation object.
I think we just did the basic 3D when we
Let's
played
go to
before.
3D rotation. And now what happens, watch what happens when I scale this thing and move it around. Notice that it's got some depth to it. And if I come to my effects panel, I have the opportunity in here to rotate this item around.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So
very
not only does it
three-dimensional.
have depth, but it has...
And it also changes according to the lighting.
Yeah, exactly. The lighting automatically changes, so I can spin this around. I can rotate it in all 3 dimensions. And look, I can still change them. I think I can still change them from happy to sad. Can
Not in this mode.
No, I bet I... Well, you think?
I think.
Oh, I think
because that center is for the rotation.
You're
point.
right. Center for the rotation.
Now, this is nice because somebody who is artistically challenged, such as myself, can actually make a 3-dimensional object.
Sure, and you can, again, just by using these control handles, I can drag that object around and really do kind of just about whatever I want to with it. And a lot of fun stuff. There's so many neat tools in this program. I'm not sure, obviously, in this show, we're not going to really dig into them. I think the main thing we wanted to talk about, though, is the presence of these handles. The handles in a drawing application allow you to have complete control over what you're putting on the screen.
Doesn't matter what you're drawing.
So it doesn't matter if it's a line, a rectangle, a circle, a 3-dimensional object. You look for the handles, manipulate the handles in any way that you want till you get your final image the way you want. Now, when you're done, Lee, obviously you've got to come back and you've got to do something with this drawing. And I'm just going to use pressing Control Z.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Get back. I'm just undoing. And now I've got this, and of course we saved this before, and I'll press Control Save, so I saved this version. But remember, we're in an open office format. This is my
not very common.
Right. This is my my working format. But I need to export, basically take a snapshot of this happy face so I can use it somewhere else. Let's say I want to use my happy face in a PowerPoint or in a Word document. Okay. When I export, I'm presented with a lot of different options here.
Wow, look at all those choices.
A lot of different options. Now, the primary ones that you would use are going to be these up in here. The GIF, okay, graphical
JPEG.
interchange format, JPEG. Basically, the rule is if it's a graphic with a limited number of colors, GIF works really well. If it's a photograph with lots and lots of colors, then you want to go with a JPEG. You can also try PNG, which is a good as a cross-application format that you can use.
Using it a lot more lately.
If you want something that's very high resolution, TIFF is a good choice for that.
Using it in a publication.
Right, putting it into a document that you're going to print. TIFF is a good choice. And so you have all these other different kinds. Look, you can even make flash movies,
wow, that's amazing.
PDFs, and all sorts of other really things.
So we would just choose one of those formats and then give it a name?
I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Test 1 Finished. And it's going to take a snapshot of that and tell me how much compression I've got. Bada bing. All done.
That's it.
I can drop that into a Word document now and be all set. So we might come back to this again next week. We've kind of been a little back and forth. A lot to it, and it's a lot of fun. But now it's time for...
We've got a letter from a viewer.
Got a letter from a viewer here, and this is an excellent letter this time around. Jerry from West Palm Beach writes in, and he says, Kim and Lee, I have some pictures on old floppy disks, and I want to put them on my new computer. But my new computer doesn't even have a floppy drive.
Whoa, that's common today, isn't it?
Nowadays, it's hard to find a new computer that lets you stick in one of those old disks. I don't think we have any old disks laying around here that we use for props. I got a drawer for them at my home with a lot of old student projects.
So what are we going to do?
Well, I think what we have to do, Lee, is look at buying something. I know that's painful for you.
That's very painful.
But for a new computer, if you're going to order a new computer, frequently you'll have the option, if you're going to order one custom made, say from Dell, or even if you go to CompUSA or one of those places, you can sometimes order them and include it if you know you've got a lot of floppies at home, Jerry. But an easier solution probably is just to buy an external floppy drive. They just plug into your computer.
Okay, if we go back up to our screen here.
Yeah, Lee did a quick search in Price Grabber.
Price Grabber, one of my favorite research sites for prices.
Okay.
And we found a Target Slimline. And the best price, this is including shipping, was under $50.
Okay.
And that will plug right into your USB.
Right. So all you've got to do, Jerry, is pick one of these up. You can order it online or go to, again, one of the major retailers. They all carry them.
I noticed down at the bottom, Radio Shack carries this
too.
too.
Of course, Radio Shack's got it. They've got them on sale. So you go right down to your Radio Shack or Office Depot or one of those kind of places and tell them you need an external
USB.
Okay, external USB floppy disk drive. It's a lot to remember, but you just take a floppy with you, say, hey, I've got a new computer, I can't use these, and they'll go, oh, you need one of these, $35, $40. Take it home, plug it in, stick your disk in, and you've got a floppy drive again.
Now, you could run into a problem if you're still talking about the 5 1/4s or even the 8-inch floppy drives.
Yeah, Lee, I don't know if anybody's got those things laying around.
But for the basic 3 1/2s, that's your solution, and it's that easy to do. You just plug it in, you're ready to go.
Thanks for the great question, Jerry. And, of course, you can always go to palmbreezecafe.com/questions and send us your questions. We'll be happy to answer them on the air.
Sounds like a great idea. We'll see you next week on Computers for the Completely Clueless.